The holograms are vacationing in the mountains, but if you're wondering which mountains, you can just go on wondering that because they're sure as hell not going to tell us. As they enter the ski lodge, they hear the proprietor on the phone.
It sounds like you're being extorted.
Some of you may be too young to remember this, but that was a pretty common way to greet someone upon entering a room in the 80s. "Hey Mom," I'd often say as I set down my backpack and fixed myself an after-school snack. "Are you being extorted? And what's for dinner?" Turns out he's not exactly being extorted so much as being required to pay the mortgage on his ski resort, which he's having trouble doing because some other resort opened up and started undercutting his business. But surely that's the last we'll be hearing of this. So the band heads out to the slopes and are immediately attacked by a misfit on a snowmobile.
Well, look who's here! Little Miss Pink Hair and the Sing-Alongs!
Which to me sounds like the dollar store knockoff of this toy line that some poor kid opened on Christmas morning and had to pretend they loved because Grandma had the best intentions when she picked it up. Aw, Grandma. The Misfits do a song called You Gotta Be Fast, which is pretty good, but it also feels like it's over a bit quickly and oh, I get it. Then they assault Jem, with snowballs. Only it's presented here like it's a damn mob hit or something. Thankfully, she's rescued by this blonde hunk who's voiced by Neil Ross doing his best Swedish Chef impression. Then purple-haired boyfriend gets jealous, even though he's not even dating Jem.
And the name is Rio.
Right, purple-haired boyfriend, that's what I said. Back at the chalet, Mr. Franklin's customers are mad because I guess the Misfits threw snowballs at them too, which is definitely Franklin's fault. Then the holograms decide to solve this problem the only way they know how, by putting on a big show.
Outrageous!
It's like she has a very specific form of Tourette's or something. Then the owner of that other ski lodge pops over to consider purchasing Franklin's, and it's Eric, in a sweater that briefly made me think he was dressed as the Blue Beetle. Naturally, Eric and his shady banker friends swear to ruin the concert and destroy the ski lodge. And here I was worried that the stakes on this show wouldn't be as compelling as the stakes on Transformers and G.I. Joe. Jem nearly falls off one of those lift things, and while Hunk Hansomson races to the rescue, purple-haired boyfriend does some dumb shit that actually ends up endangering Jem even more. Blondie Bear ends up saving the day, and he and purple-haired boyfriend hilariously get each other's names wrong some more. Franklin's had enough of Eric and his bullshit, which is extra impressive considering he hasn't even been around for the previous 10 episodes of Eric's bullshit. And Eric suggests that they settle their differences like gentlemen. No, not with a duel, don't be weird. He obviously means a ski race between two girl groups. Thankfully, the Nordic god is still here, and he agrees to teach the holograms how to ski. And oh hey, the next song, It's Working Out / It's Doing Me In, is set to a classic 80s sports training montage. And honestly, I would have felt cheated if we didn't get at least one of these at some point during the course of this series. Then again, I always thought skiing just boiled down to doing either pizza or French fries, but maybe a 23-year-old episode of South Park isn't the very best source for that information. The montage is over, and now it's race time. It's pretty boring, because we've all seen about 200 cartoons about people cheating in ski contests, which is pretty weird if you think about it. So the Misfits win, and Clash bangs her little cymbals in celebration, which naturally causes an avalanche. This traps Jem inside a cave, and actually the only hologram not trapped somewhere stupid is Aja, so it falls to her to rescue the others. First, she pulls Kimber out of a hole, like so much Ryan North. Surely someone will get this reference. Then the two of them rescue Shayna from a waterfall. Then the three of them run into the two dudes, who tell them to go home because rescuing Jem is man's work. Which, given these ladies' success so far, is pretty shitty. Then a bear knocks Jem's earring off and she turns back into Jerrica, and okay, I know it's early days, but are we really going to do this earring thing every time? Purple-haired boyfriend actually fights a bear, which is pretty hardcore. I may be coming around on you, PHB. But then Jem gaslights him about seeing Jerrica and he completely buys it, so never mind. Then they discover a bunch of silver in that cave, which they use to pay that guy's mortgage. And then there's a completely tacked-on song called Love Is Here. Given that nobody hooked up with anyone in this episode, I'm not sure who this is supposed to be about. Unless purple-haired boyfriend circled back to spend more time with that bear, I guess.